Good morning. See some new friends here. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about Buddhist idea about how to engage into the society. In Buddhism, we separate into two parts of the doctrine, and then two kinds of personality who are named themselves as a Buddhist. Mundane means someone who value themselves in the world side. Worldly concern is more than what their super-mundane system means. They're looking for more into self-liberation. So this is two kinds of doctrine that Buddhism carry, so named as Buddhism. From the beginning, the Buddha himself is renunciate monk who look for more into himself, mind and body, how to overcome the stress, the unsatisfactoriness, look for total liberation. So he is searching for the way or the path, moving forward to this destination, what we call that liberated mind and wisdom. So have wisdom, then you clearly know what is going on, touching to the truth and liberated your mind. So right now, Buddhism have no other way to go. Need to fit into the society and working, serve, practice in the world in order to overcome the problem, you yourself and the responsibility to the society. And even though more deeper meaning is how to save this ecology system, make it not go to that kind of extreme destruction. So this is what I call the engage in the world with transcendent spirit. Now we come back to part by part. Let me have a little bit explain to you and myself can have more little bit right contemplating about it. In Buddhism, we mention about wisdom. I use the word IQ is because IQ is showing in the West world that this guy is very smart. So talent very high, very clever, means he don't make mistake. He will make himself success. He will planning for success. This is called high IQ. So if we look into the human life individually, I don't see many of us not make mistake to himself and to the world system. So in Buddhism, we talk about IQ. We mention IQ is the perspective of knowing the truth or the knowing the Four Noble Truths. The suffering, the cause, the path get rid of suffering and enter into no suffering conditions of mind and his action. When I talk about Four Noble Truths, then I have the word there, you see, gratification, danger, and escape. In the Buddha mentioned about Four Noble Truths, add in the other three, we call that 7 supreme noble contemplation. If someone can contemplate in this 7 terms, then you may have the solution, you may have the condition upgrading the value of your life from time to time, because you contemplate this and then you will observe yourself internally and exteriorly of this phenomenon. You will touching to the truth and adjust your value from time to time. The world not other than 5 senses contact. We call that the world. Even though right now we have the illusion world in the computer, we call that we have another illusion world. Not real, but very touchable, attractive. So this computer can pronounce sounds, it can have touching, it can have seeing. So you have another 3 illusion world. But this world will open up, touching to the real world, exteriorly. So in Buddhism we talk about suffering. Suffering, not easy to understand what is suffering, but we say that burning, that is more makes sense, isn't it? Gratification because of burning is not what we know. Four Noble Truths is talking about the negative side of suffering. The real suffering is caused, how you need to work for it, and then to end it. This is a negative side, not easy to understand. But another one, look for happiness. But the happiness that we value and look for in Buddhism, we talk, this is the gratification. You need to know the danger, and you need to find a way to escape. So happiness becomes the same as suffering, burning. If burn to your body and mind, you feel pain, then you know this is burning, isn't it? Or do we burning that way? Yes. If you attach to something, this thing go to decay, or this thing go to disappear, it will very burning. You know, friendship, relationship, and then someone just you really love, and then he gone, he passed away. You know, someone you like, you the whole life you build it, and then in the fire it burn down. And you will hurt, pain. You see? But some is little bit different. You know, it's not too touching to this body and mind, but it is still fire. That stress is always touching to the mind. We know it, but it's not too sensitive. And we're not too concerned because little bit distant from us. The burning in the society, the thing destruct in the society, it always danger us, isn't it? I am sometimes go to Chicago, and then some of my students he warning me, Shifu, you are the monk. in the evening you don't come to the street, street danger. Every night will kill 20 to 40 people sometimes. At least go to 20, can't fight in the street evening. Mostly we have different condition of fight. Black brother, Spanish brother, right now they have the Chinese brother coming into, lots of different races in the street, mostly young people, gang, drug, and other conditions. Hatred make this and that. More than this condition make danger. So we know danger, but a little bit different, a distant, we may not see it. This is called society. If we go a little bit distant, maybe the environment, from the environment destruction that it happens, the condition that hit back to the human society, then we say this is a gratification, danger, and need to escape. Let me make an easy example. Right now Chinese people, they have more cash, can travel and can go to vacation and make fun. In China, they're very cloudy when you go to Chinese see natural in sightseeing. There's a lot of cloudy there, not make fun. So they go to Indonesia, they go to Europe, to go to Muslim country, to go this, go there. Some of them go there because of things happen, like Indonesia, that what we call it, just short, earthquake, a danger. When come to Pakistan, the terrorists bomb the bus. Recently the news. So do we expect this will happen? No one expects this will happen. But when you decide, put in action, we are responsible. So for among myself, if I go for mission and I lost my life or I got hurt, I don't feel regret. If a monk just go for travel, this and that, to make fun or just this and that, not too much value, then it's not precious to make that action. So I myself, if say that a monk have IQ, then you must show a little bit discipline to yourself. Even though you like to travel, but travel for more profound meaning, other than this and that, just for the senses contact, and you lost your life. See? So this is what craving and tending five senses desire is a very important basic foundation in Buddhism. I think when I want to say this, I say this is called universal value. How we need to spread it not only in Buddhism, all mankind. We need to concern a little bit about this. If you need it, you let this five senses contact become a very habitual pattern, then your mind will be very tough. Always burning that. Let me say something in this. When I see the documentaries, who is a good cook? Only two men is a good cook. One is from France, one is from China. You see? So migrated by Chinese, So have the bloodline of Chinese, but in Malaysian I call myself Malaysian Chinese. But when I come to United States, I call United States Chinese. But you won't go out from the characteristic of the Chinese people. Chinese people have one very high, motion is they like food. They make good food. Right now they have very bad situation. High cholesterol, high blood pressure, high sugar. Even though very small boy, they already become that. Growing like American grow boy, fat. Because just sit on the chair there, you have computer and you don't exercise the body, you don't burn out all these much more ingredient will become accumulate and compact into the body. This is something that we call that greedy of these five senses contact need to overcome. So in Buddhism, in the other hand, we talk about wholesome and unwholesome have its own value. No matter you like it or not, you deny it or you accept it, sometimes we ignore it. But it's still there. So wholesome, we accumulate wholesome in Buddhism that we call it faith, effort, mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom. This is called 5 roots of wholesome. Even though it's for the Buddhism, this terminology, but it have its own universal value. If you don't see it in Buddhism, it's still universal value. Unwholesome is 5 hindrances: sloth and torpor, restlessness, downsiness, greed, hatred, and doubt. This is called 5 unwholesome roots. Little bit talking about in Buddhism, I will say a little bit about physical and mental health. This is what I can offer, very close to the student and to someone who really friends come in and can expose what I can share with them is physical and mental healthy. Like my friend here, you are especially in physics. One someday I really want to learn from you lots of things that I don't know. You see, so open up yourself is the healthy. Not only learn by something is healthy. So healthy is open up. So emphasis of this mind and body, that is Indian people in the old days, they already like that. Very concerned about healthy of this mind and body, especially mind healthy. So they keep their yoga. Until right now, yoga is Indian spiritual. But in China, that side, China talk about harmony between the sky, the earth, and the human. They talk about this. I mentioned about this too, and I will give you a little bit about my experience when I become monk. Say when I was 20 until right now I am 57. When we learn Buddhism is talking about mind and body practice, very individual apply. Not much he concerned about the society. You know, mostly he concern about his practice. From the Buddha time, he don't worry about stay anywhere, any room or to have any house. When there's wood there, any cave there, any have shade there, they just stay there for practice. They concern about mind and body. Even those are till later on, they have someone donate the mango farm for them, bamboo farm for them, some park for them, so that they just accept and they use that nature. Not much concern about develop and cultivate from the exterior world to make things change. They concern about body and mind. When I was in Thailand, become a monk, then I see things differently. When my monastery, he want to build another new hall in order to can expand of member, they need to use more facility. So that my abbot monk, you know, he is willing to take down some tree at the back of the monastery. So I saw in that time I still waiting for become monastic. So I give them assistance. So I saw the monk come to the tree. They need to pray for the tree, you know. Pray for the tree in order to take down the tree. So I just heard the praying, I don't know what's going on. Then I asked my my private teacher, that elder monk specially explained all the teaching to me. I asked him, what is the play mean? He said, pray for the God, pray for all the living beings who stay in this tree, you know, getting safe and getting happy because need to and going to the other side of this tree because need to take this tree for doing something to build up the mind and body liberated, or can be build up this merit will transfer to them, let them be, you know, excused. When I listen to this, then I think, hey, the monk is very concerned about all this natural environment. Even though they become novice, you can't go to pluck the flower. If you want the flower offered to the Buddha, you need someone to pluck for you. Your hand cannot touch that. And become a monastic, then you don't step in the grass field by no reason. So you need to become mindful, don't step in the living creature or plant. You see? So all this telling me that monastic training in the first time is very come to his mind and body and respect and in the natural environment. Secondly is using all these resources by very careful and meaningful. But today's world, differently. All the resources will take down and cut the forest by this power man. I don't know how to say, but my teacher tell me one thing is, he said the old time when we talk about 5 precepts, stealing means you get into the dark and you steal something without let people know. But when he explained stealing in the modern time, he said that right now stealing is use the power, use your money, and you're planning to do it on the table, not under the table. So right now is great men, great power men and rich men, they stole all the resources from the all living beings what they can have the share. Stole by 1 or 2 men very selfishly. So right now you can see all the world turning into very, very big problem of survival environment. So I think right now in Buddhism, as a monk like me, we need to engage into the society, not only like before we are protected ourselves using the resources very mindfully. We need to open up our mind, come to our verbal, come to our action, involve, engage to help saving. You know, and even though we need to do something, action, try to build it back, this natural resources. Otherwise, the world will become year and year destruct, worse and worse into our mother nature. It will sure come back to us with very, very stressful condition. So here is something that what I want to say from this perspective in Buddhism, and I talk a little bit about harmony between the sky, the earth, and the human. This is the teaching in Chinese culture. So Chinese culture influenced to China because China have no God. They don't believe in God. Confucianism and all the 5,000 years civilization, politician is the one that, or the king is the one that represent the power or position of God. So that if the king or the leader become very wise, IQ high, then the nation becomes strong. Right now, I already said in the past, Confucianism is the culture that really concerned about responsible of the society. Right now, they add in communism. So communism is not believing in God too. So 2 of them come together. How they're going to take responsible of this society and the natural environment? They are not only showing in the idea, but right now Chinese government, they're showing into their policy. They make 10 year, 20 year, 30 year, make change. Because in the past, their industrial development already caused the environment very bad condition. Right now, they're planning to build it back. I think this is a wholesome action for the world and for themselves. If we are the strong world and the developed country, we need to have the same, idea and planning to to do something. Otherwise, it will be very tough. This morning, I already said a little bit, about global warming come to become very current appear into this world right now. So in this situation, like what Kung Yan that he said, the northern part become the cold season, maybe it become warm season. The warming season will become hot season, and the hot season become dry season. Then you can see most the poor country and the developed country is in the hot season. Once they become dry season, what do you think? For the survival of life, they will burn everything. They will take everything for survival. Do you think that not related anything causing to our danger? I don't think so. I think that we breathe in the same air, we have the same sun, and we drink the same water. No matter what, as what I said, that danger of fire maybe is far away. We cannot see it, cannot feel it, but we still seeing all the smoke come, we know that that is the fire. So something is not burning very to this body, but fire is fire. We can see the fire. It's see we enough this mindful to understand it and value it up or not. So for myself, last year on, and this year when I come back to Malaysia, I really see something. I need to work hard, and then not only I spend time for me in the practice mind and body, I need to walk around, walk as quickly as I can, as much time as I can put into helping others, so that my mindfulness training from right now on is not into stillness mindfulness, is in action mindfulness. So that need to bring that mindfulness training into body and mind. No matter where I go, how I turn my body, I need to become right there, here and now, by mindfulness. So I hope I can do it that way, and I hope that can fulfill the social responsible, not let Chinese people look down to me because they have no religion. They don't see monk is a monk. They see monk is a down, this creature only take food, have no other benefit to the society. In their teaching is like that. So when I am responsible to the ecology system, then I need to rapidly grab this information in order they already put in action. We need to say that we are in the part of this too, in order they don't look down to us. Thank you. That is something I want to cover in IQ.